that's what I wanted to, you know, we talk about, I don't think there's not a Native American person in this whole continent that doesn't know about Leonard Peltier. I don't think, you know, that's our history. That's a part of, he's a part of us. You know, what happened because of that fear. And that's what I said there. Then that period, there was a Marine guy, so I get nervous or something. You know, that, so, you know, we you know, again, in Indian country, we under, you know, and we you know, because my wife, because Leonard used to hang around their house in Shine Creek on Pine Ridge, and when that outbreak, when that fight occurred, or that little, you know, they had that little skirmish there at Jumping Bulls. He, of course, they had the Hueys, you know, and they would fly over, just like a military operation, and they would, you know, they would spotlight, go and check them. They had all military, you know, access, APCs, whatever. They had all the military. But he, when that incident happened, he was, you know, everybody had to get out of there because they're out to kill anybody. But my wife was subpoenaed over here in Fargo. That's what I talk about, spirits. Yeah. Yeah. So she never had to testify, but no, you know, I think when you think, again, this is my personal opinion again, but when you think about the, you know, the situation, how they were, you know, because how they found him guilty, but you know, you know, I remember them using that weapon, and they found out there was they used it to you know, convict him, but they found out later that wasn't the weapon, but they tried to reopen it, remember, the searcher area, whatever. But I don't know, you know, maybe someplace down in there, and maybe he might get, you know, when we pray for those things, and we, you know, that in the conscience someplace, that maybe, you know, we pray for those things, and just like the environment's changing here in the United States, because most certainly when Obama was elected, that, you know, that you have to, it makes you think. And you know, the changing times, but he's been in and in charge for that all these years, you know, and maybe sometimes they'll readdress his case. And if you pray, people will think about, because he's been in there for, you know, I think he's been wrongly convicted, and on the evidence that was given, and everything tells us that he was wrongly convicted, but they don't want to admit that. That's the same thing. I'm gonna get radical here a little bit. That's the same thing, you know, when we were young children, and they used to beat us, and they used to you know, tell us that we were, you know, worthless, and we inherited that in our heart, and we lived that. It's the same thing when we say, can you kind of like apologize for that or something? You know, because you look at it now. If you get a teacher that dirty touches a student, well, they fire him. He's gone. But in those days, you know, because they were part of the system, they were allowed to beat and threaten and abuse the young Indian children. There's a whole generation of that. So, but to kind of make it come back, when I come back, I came here to Fargo to bring it back over here. What I do now is, in my, you know, because I lived that history there, I was there. And I've come to understand, but one of the things that's strong that came out of all of that, all of those people, you know, and we talk about the ones that would never, I have a niece like that on Stand Rock right as we speak. It's been about 12 years. She was brutally murdered. And we talk about, you know, these kind of things that were not investigated, but she was brutally raped and murdered. And to this day, they've never prosecuted anyone for that. And I remember that FBI agent coming down, and I don't want to say that because, I mean, I was there. But he didn't want to get his feet muddy. It was wet. He was acting, like he didn't care or something. But I remember that, showing him around and showing him where these things, but I remember, so that's an ongoing investigation. So those kind of things back in that time, those kind of murders and things that we have a lot of those in the country that have never been resolved. They always tell you when you try to talk to them, they tell you that. It's still an open case, we can't talk about it. But maybe again someday they'll find the person who murdered her, or the group of people who murdered her. But those are the kind of things that we live, as Native American and growing up on a reservation, but that life, that experience. But the thing is, the impact of the American Indian movement and those people involved at that time and the struggle, we still, that always impacted us, and it still does to this very day. Because it taught us to regain some taken, that we're not worthless, that we're human beings, that we can to feel good about ourselves. So that I do that, and I do the best that I can, and I know that my life is not going to be maybe that much longer in this world, but the spirit. So when we have our ceremonies and we do these things, that's what we do. We pray to the Great Spirit, and we pray that these things can be resolved in a good way. And then again, the state of North Dakota with this Sioux thing. I couldn't believe, I couldn't believe some of the things that were being, those blog things or whatever they call them, the computer, how some people still carry that kind of resentment, that hate. When they want to keep that name so bad. And the one that's opposing it the most is Standing Rock, where I'm from. On that name, that issue, Standing Rock said, nope. Fort Talon's kind of leaning a little bit, but Standing Rock right now says, nope, you can't use it. But you can see you can see, they have a lot of money, so. But anyway, just a comment about that. So, again, living through that experience and giving thanks to the Great Spirit, I'm still alive. Somebody comes up to me and says, how are you feeling? I said, I'm feeling good, because any day above ground is a good day. That's how basically it boils down to. I'm glad to be alive. And there are times where I could have really been, and I did get hurt a little bit, but I made it. And I'm still doing all right. I'm still alive. But I want to sing a song that, I sang that song earlier, and I haven't sang that song for a long time. I had to sit there and the mind. Now, you haven't seen a song, you don't sing it very much for 30, 40 years. And you sit there and you hum to yourself, yeah, I think I got it, Then it goes away and sits there, I'll try it again in 5 minutes. Goes away, but I haven't sang it, but that's a song we used to sing a long time ago. I want to sing that. I want to sing, there was a, right there, I don't even know your name.
Natalie.
Natalie knows this song. Anybody else know Aim's song or what? Anybody ever heard that?
Ruby.
Nobody?
Ruby.
Which one's Ruby?
Yeah. Right here.
Oh, I recognize that guy right there. You know that song? Let's see if I can remember it once. Maybe you can give me the key in it, huh? I'll forget it. But I know it as soon as I get it. We were singing it earlier, remember? When I get under stress, I forget those things. Yeah. Ya